Most meditation instructions guide you to find a quiet, distraction-free location. But you're a human who chooses to live in reality, who chooses to live and meditate where you are right now. Most meditation instructions tell you to sit in a comfortable position, but you're a human who is trying to learn how to accept reality as it is, when it faces you in any moment. Choose to be in exactly the position you are, or if you wish, choose right now to lay down in an uncomfortable position, or to allow yourself to sit in an awkward or unflattering manner. There are 4 primary types of meditation that focus on different aspects of our experiential existence. We can attend to our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, or hearing. And at a deeper level, we can recognize that thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and hearing are all simply neurological impulses. While we may separate them, they each wrap up into this single little thing, an impulse. In this meditation, we will focus on our thoughts, impulses of the mind. All thoughts are just impulses. We subconsciously and immediately categorize them as important or unimportant, fun, fantasy, boring, or some other classification. We use that little toolbox in our brain and compare them to past impulses and experiences that we've had. If we decide that they are fun or important or interesting in some way, we often slip down the slope of engagement. We choose to engage with them. For some of them, some thoughts we deem so important that we have to immediately rush to tell others about our great, insightful thinking, or about the dirtiness of the fork in the drawer, or about what they did wrong that's making us have this feeling that we've decided is uncomfortable and we don't like. For this meditation, I want you to recognize that every single thought you have is simply an impulse. During this meditation, let no thought that crosses your mind be categorized as important. They are all just thoughts. In physics, in reality, they are equal to every other thought. Simple little electrical impulses coursing through your brain. They are just thoughts. As a thought arises, as any thought arises, simply say to yourself, "This is how it feels to have an impulse." This is how it feels to have an impulse. When we have important impulses, we've been trained to train our attention to them, to lose sight of the biggest picture, and to hone in on this tiny, seemingly important, electrical impulse. If you're like me and you have characteristics of ADD and OCD, you've become an expert at zooming in your attention, so much that the denominator, the entirety of your reality, becomes fixated on this thought, this impulse. You think about it from different angles, you analyze it, you inspect its every imaginable aspect. You hold it up, you treat it as if it were a shiny bauble, a pretty bauble, to admire and to show off in a parade for others. We also categorize thoughts as positive and negative, and we painfully hold high-impact negative thoughts up just like we do with thoughts we like. We may not like them, yet we feel the same impulse that we need to share them right away. We need to write them down. We need to tell someone else, or we need to express them as an intense emotion. For this moment, accept that this is how it feels to have an impulse, and then sit with it, or let it go. Whatever happens to that impulse, let it happen. Sit with it, or let it go. Often when I meditate, it clears my mind, and then I begin to have deep, wonderful, analytical thoughts. I get so excited that I get distracted from my meditation, and then I wander and all of these thoughts cascade through my mind. Or if I'm angry about something, then all the negative rumination thoughts creep to the front. I also get excited about them in a negative way, again distracting me from my meditation, and then my mind wanders, and I allow all of these thoughts to cascade through my mind. You may be doing that right now. This thought is an impulse. This is an impulse. This is how it feels to have an impulse. Accept it. Allow it. I accept it. I allow it. I don't reject it. I don't turn away from it. I don't disparage it. I allow it to happen. But I choose to not engage with it by clinging to it or attaching myself to it through rejection and resistance. I have a willingness to accept whatever impulse arises. This is how it feels to have an impulse. I let it go. I let it go when it wants to go away. This is how it feels to have an impulse. And now sit here, or stand, or lay, or walk as you choose. If you want, you can bring your attention to your breath, wherever you feel it, whether that's in your belly or in your chest, expanding and contracting, or the feeling of the air moving in and out of your nose or mouth. And if you get distracted and your mind wanders, accept it when you notice it. Welcome it when you notice it. The secret to meditation is learning to accept our moment-to-moment experience. If you find that you get upset at yourself when you discover that your mind has wandered, simply accept this as an impulse as well. I welcome this impulse of upset. I'm aware of this impulse of rejecting. I'm aware of this thought that I believe I should be doing something else or paying attention better. This is how it feels when I reject my thoughts. This is how it feels when I reject myself, my actions, my immediate and recent past. I accept and welcome the discomfort of rejection. I do not chase it away, and I do not engage with it. I sit with it and allow it. I stay with it and allow it. And continue now for the next several minutes, practicing the acceptance of thoughts, of impulses, of reality, until the sound of the bell, and know that you can do this practice at any time, with or without my guidance, for as short or as long as you like. And so continue to do as you have been doing. Focus on the breath as you may, and your thoughts as they arise moment by moment. Recognize the thought impulses as they leap into an attempt to demand your conscious attention. This is how it feels to have an impulse. This is how it feels to have an impulse. This is how it feels to acknowledge discomfort, rejection, difficult thoughts or feelings. This is how it feels to practice acceptance. This is how it feels to meditate. This is what acceptance of reality feels like. This is how it feels to accept reality.